Master Your Mindset Radio, episode 87.
Welcome to Master Your Mindset Radio, the show where we empower you to conquer limiting beliefs and transform your world with your gifting and purpose. Now for your host, Elizabeth Nader.
Hi friends, welcome back to another episode. Always happy to have you here. Today we're talking about the trap of hesitation, understanding hesitation, examining hesitation, what it is, why it is our enemy, and what we can do about it. Now I get a lot of inspiration not only from things in my life, but also from other books that I read and people I follow. And I've talked about this book before. It's called the Discipline Equals Freedom Field Manual by Jocko Willink. And if you haven't gotten this, if you don't know about it, but you want to be inspired to live a better life, you want to be inspired to live a more disciplined life, to understand how you can overcome some things that you've struggled with for a long time, his book is incredible. He's a military guy, and he breaks this into really simple things that you can do, not only with mindset, but also just choices, getting up earlier, working out, those things that are obvious to you, but he looks at them in a different way with a military mindset. And it's really, really fascinating. So every now and then I have this book in my office and I'll pick it up just for some inspiration. And I opened it up to a spread in the book, and the words at the top said hesitation. And he starts with this quote from Julius Caesar, from Shakespeare. And Brutus is saying, between the acting of a dreadful thing and the first motion, all of the interim is like a phantasma or hideous dream. He's talking about hesitation. And Jocko goes on to say, this is from Brutus. And if you remember Julius Caesar in the play, Brutus is plotting to kill Caesar. He was loyal to Caesar, so it wasn't easy for him. And Shakespeare, of course, who just does an amazing job with human nature. I could do, and I probably should start doing some mindset podcasts and writings about Shakespeare, because he really nails human nature. Lots of fascinating things. So he captures in this quote from Brutus what this feels like, how it feels to be plotting something horrible against someone that you're loyal to. And the way Jocko writes it in today's words, it would say, between the acting of a dreadful thing, between the moment when you are waiting to do something that you don't want to do, and the moment when you initiate the action, the whole time you are waiting to take that action is like an evil specter, an apparition, a nightmare. So what he's really saying is it's hesitation. That's what Brutus was saying. In the meantime, the waiting, the thinking about it, the not taking action, before you take the action, before the first motion, it can become just a nightmare. Before that inactivity, before you decide, before you move, it becomes like a nightmare. Why is that? Well, it's like standing still. It's like we're describing something. It's not like you've used wisdom to say, I'm not quite ready to do something. It's when you know you need to act and you don't act. But you know you need to. You need to get something done. You need to make a decision, and you don't do it. It's that hesitation, which is a horrible place to be. And that's what Brutus was saying. He called it a hideous dream. That's how much he hated it. A phantasma or hideous dream. And Jocko translates that to saying that it's like an evil specter, an apparition, a nightmare. So it's this battle and this struggle and hesitation in the moment, however long that moment lasts, before we step into the unknown, but we know we must step into it, right? It's that hesitation and the fear that often fills that space. That is such an awful experience. So why do we choose to stay there? I mean, hesitation is really what causes defeat ultimately for us. That hesitation, not taking a step, not making a move, not doing something when we need to do it, putting something off. And that gnawing feeling, it can be as simple as something that needs to get done and it's not getting done, or as big as a massive decision. Hopefully you're not Brutus and you're you're looking to plot to kill Caesar, but a big decision to do something that you know is life-changing or could be, and you're putting it off. That feeling, it's almost in your gut, that stomach ache, that feeling that says you've got to do this and you're not doing it. It's an awful place to live. It's an awful place to be, hesitation. We don't often think of it that way, but if you can start to put that word to it and say, why am I in hesitation? And you can actually label that interim moment, however long it lasts, where you are in suspension, where you feel paralyzed, then you will start to see that hesitation is your enemy. It is your enemy. It allows the moment of action to pass, right? There's always a moment of action and then you don't take it. And then there's another moment of action and you don't take it. And opportunity is lost. And sometimes a moment doesn't come back, sometimes it does. But it represents a moment passing, opportunity lost, and the enemy of your soul or the enemy or resistance or whatever it is, gets the upper hand. You didn't take the move. You didn't take the step. You didn't get out of hesitation. And if you stay there too long in that space of hesitation, which is often filled with fear and doubt and self-loathing, if you stay there too long, it turns into cowardice. It stops you from moving forward altogether. Initiative just disappears because we get so used to hesitation and we stop executing on the things we know we need to do. So what does failure really look like? Inaction. Hesitation is what ends up defeating you, but you need to defeat it. That is the truth. You need to see hesitation as your enemy. You need to start to understand and recognize when you are in a space of hesitation. And I'm not talking about something where you need to think about it or it's wise to take the time to ponder it or you're checking out different options. I think you know the difference. Most of us do. We know what hesitation, and sometimes we call it procrastination, really is. It's a space where you know what you need to do, but you're not doing it. I'm not talking about the times in which you need to determine, you need to pray, you need to meditate, you need to ask for advice. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about those moments when it's overdue, when you know that decision needs to be made, when you know you need to take that step and you're not doing it. That area, that space that you're occupying, that you're embracing fear, you're embracing self-doubt, you're embracing all the things that are making you stand still. That is your enemy, hesitation. And that represents failure because you aren't stepping into what you need to do. You're allowing yourself to stand still, which turns into cowardice. Really, that's what it is, and keeps you from moving forward. There is no initiative. You don't execute on what you know you must do. Ends up defeating you. Now listen, what you know you must do is probably overwhelming to you for some reason, and perhaps you're afraid of failure. But until you try it, the failure exists in the hesitation. That's where the failure is experienced. Otherwise, when you try it and let's say it doesn't work out, you learn a lesson or you succeed. What if it does work out? But the true failure is not trying. The true failure exists in the space of hesitation. So what do you do? What do you do when you're truly in a space of hesitation? And again, you need to know and identify what it is. It's not a pause. It's not a season of contemplation. It is truly hesitation. Not a good word, not your friend. It's your enemy. So to win, you have to overcome that hesitation. You have to overcome the waiting. And I'm going to give you a ton of ideas of how to do that. Not really. I'm going to say one word. Just go. Move. Famous Nike line, just do it. The truth is, I could give you all kinds of encouragements and things and say, remember when last time you hesitated and you decided to move forward, it worked out. Tell yourself that, repeat it, look for evidence of success so you can repeat it. I can give you all of that. But today, I just want to tell you, don't overthink it. Sometimes it's just as simple as going, as moving, of taking the step, of taking the action, of getting out of bed. Get on your feet, take a step, stop waiting, do that thing. It's a just do it moment. And there are so many other things we could talk about and so many other ways I could pump you up. But sometimes I think we overthink we overanalyze too much and we make everything too difficult. Sometimes you just have to look in the mirror and say, what am I waiting for? Just do it. Just take the step. Go. One word, go. How do you beat hesitation? How do you beat the enemy of hesitation? How do you beat the cowardice of hesitation? How do you beat the failure and defeat of hesitation? By action. The reverse of hesitation is action. So what is it today you're hesitating on and you know you shouldn't be? You know you need to take that step. You need to move. Whatever it is, I just want to say to you, go. Do it. Move forward. That's the only way that you beat the enemy of hesitation. Have a great week, guys. Talk to you next week.
Thank you for listening to Master Your Mindset Radio. Before you go, if you want to be part of a free online community of like-minded individuals for support, resources, and inspiration as you conquer your limiting beliefs and pursue your purpose, go to elizabethnader.com/community. That's elizabethnader.com/community, or search for Master Your Mindset Academy private group on Facebook. Looking forward to seeing you online.